Hello, so these are my comments and suggestions for your proposal. Starting with the title page, please use the template, just edit it because there are unnecessary spaces in between. You have the template already, just use it, edit it. And then going to your background of the study, the whole of your background of the study, it doesn't have much of a citation. When you get the idea or the sentence from an article or an author, even though you paraphrase that part, you need to still cite the source. So, cite, yes. Next. Background of the studies, okay. And then statement of the problem. Initially, I want you to change the spacing of format. Then going to the questions itself. Number 1, what is the profile of the hospital? Yes, according to land area, location, level, years of existence. What is the profile of the respiratory care in terms of units, services, and procedures? I think under the services, pwede din naman. Sige, you can separate what are the costs of services. And then number 4, what is the perceived quality of care in terms of, you have parameters here in terms of knowledge, skills, and attitude, but I did not see this in the succeeding pages. Number 5, is there a correlation between the costs and the perceived quality of care? And what are the issues of the patients on the quality of care? Then, statement of the hypothesis, you have only one inferential question, and that is number 5. So, your hypothesis should look like number 5. And when you put HO, this is null hypothesis. H1 is the alternative hypothesis. So what you've written here, this is actually an alternative hypothesis. This is H1. You can put both H1 and H0, but you can also put only H0 only. So there is no correlation between cost and quality of care. Next is conceptual framework. You have frameworks for quality of care, theories and frameworks for quality of care. You need to see this. And also a health belief model. I'm not sure if I have it here. Frameworks for quality of care. Wala dito. But you can check frameworks for quality of care. And then you can add here. This one is input in your research paradigm. I did not see your cost here, but you included it in the statement of the objectives. Also here, nawawala yung cost. And for the process, the profile here of the hospitals and the profile of respiratory care, wala niyan sa questionnaire ninyo. So you need to do documents review or key informant interview of the management. And for the output is not an objective. These statements are written in objective format. So this one should be output. So the relationship of cost and quality, the issues of patients with quality of care, those are the outputs. For scope and the limitation of the study, you have here the purpose and the respondents. Here you need to put if you will do KII to get your profile or documents review, you need to put that first. Number 2 is for the perceived quality. Who are your respondents? What are the inclusion and exclusion? Should they be the patients that are admitted for the past 5 months in the respiratory department? They have age bracket. And then your research technique. How will you do it? So you will do documents review through what? Checklist, observation checklist, or do you have you will use a survey questionnaire? You will do survey, online survey, or face-to-face survey using a questionnaire. What type of questionnaire is this researcher made? Standard or modified? Adopted. Lastly is the data collection. How will you collect the data? What will be your process? You need to include it here. What are the limitations? What are the scope? The next, significance of the study. I didn't read this much, but I suggest you put the future researchers down. You read the results of the study will benefit the general public, the patients, the hospitals, and the respiratory therapies first before the future researchers. And definition of terms, I did not check that much. Then profile of the private hospitals in the Philippines. You need to change or add the profile of private hospitals in terms of their pulmo department and the services that is in there. After your hospital area, you can add it here. For the quality of care, this should be the bulk of your before quality of care, you need to have the cost of respiratory services or pulmo services. You can compare, contrast the cost from global, nationwide, and local hospitals, so that you can use this when you come already to your results and discussion. And then third would be the quality of care. This must be the bulk of your RRL. You need to put here what will be the parameters that you will use to gauge the quality of care. This will be easy if you already see your tool or your questionnaire. So this tool or questionnaire will show you the questions, that the factors and the domains that you need to discuss under this quality of care part. Like if in your objectives you have knowledge, attitude practices. I don't see it here, or depending on your tool, if it's level of satisfaction, time spent, things like that. So this should be the bulk. And then going to your This is looking at quality of care as a whole. The next is respiratory care protocol, and then the services, cost of services for respiratory care. Is this specifically for RESP? No, this must be specifically for the respiratory service. Here, where is that part? At this part is the general hospital cost of services or hospital prices. Then the relationship between cost and quality of care. I did not read that much. And then the last part should be policies on quality of care. If we have programs for this one, laws, AO, RAs, programs of DOH, you need to add it here. Last part, related laws. And then for your research methodology, this part here, admitted to the hospital due to and undergone respiratory through online or face-to-face if possible. You need to add this under your limitation. If it should be online or face-to-face, because in online respiratory care, they will not be using any service. So there might be some questions under your questionnaire that they won't be able to answer. Then locale of the study, sampling design. For the respondents will be selected from the given list of respirator. Why are you asking the respiratory therapist? So next, the respondents from the survey shall be patients with respiratory procedures. So, yeah. And this is this is your sample sampling frame. You need to put here respondents from hospital A and hospital B were admitted. That is your sampling frame. This is your sampling technique. Simple random probability sampling. Where is your sample size? How will you compute for this one? And for your research instrumentation, I don't see any instrument for your profiling. For your number 1 and number 2 statement of the objectives, and number 3. This is already number 4. We have here the profile information. Part 2, and this one is the wrong part. It consists of categories looking at arterial, pulmonary, and aerosol. And looking at what exactly? I thought you are asking for quality of care. So the parameters for quality of care, not the steps on how these are done to them. Okay, they don't really care much on what are the proper steps in doing this, but more on how they felt or how they perceive the quality of respiratory care when they are admitted. So you need a tool here, and the sample tool for quality of care Nag-off kanina. Would be this one. Mag-off na naman. Yeah, look at this one. It's a quality of prenatal care questionnaire. So if there is a standard quality of respiratory care questionnaire, you can adopt that with one letter O. But if you do not have, find a questionnaire that fits your statement of the objectives for respiratory care. Now look at the perceived quality of care here. You have questions like, I was given adequate information about prenatal tests. I was always given honest answers to my question. Everyone involved or important information about me, etc. Look at the factors. You have information sharing, guidance, sufficient time, approachability, availability, support, and respect. So those are the things that I am looking for here in your research instrumentation, and it would help you a lot if you already have your questionnaire with you. And then you have your data gathering procedure. Preparatory phase is okay. Letter of consent, data gathering, and data analysis. That's okay.